Xtreme traders continue to prove that it is very trustworthy and one of the best forex signals providers in the world. I'm very happy to say that this week we have made a total of 477 pips, of course, in total, which means that was the maximum amount of pips that we have been able to deliver to our clients. Of course, some of the other clients have made less than that. They could have made actually about 160 pips or 200 pips. Some other clients, however, made even more than 1,000 of pips. How? Because they are actually entering multiple trades on every signal they are receiving, or actually a selected signal. If it matches up with their own analysis, they will enter it with multiple trades. And we have seen this with actually so many clients. They have opened so many trades of one signal, even once per week, and they actually have been able to make a lot of profits. Keep in mind that they have paid only 50 euro per month, and they have made a lot of profits in very short time. They have covered this amount in a matter of no time. So these are the results right off from the premium group. As you can see, Friday was 100% in profit. As you can see, my friends, all of the signals that we have sent on Friday have went in a profit. And as you can see, these are the results. I'm not hiding anything at all. I'm just scrolling, showing you all the greens, all the profits that we have made with our clients. Very nice results and very good signals and very trusted signals from Xtreme Trader. This is of course August 19. August 22 is from here. So of course, again, it was a very successful week, and we are looking forward for the next week, and we are hoping for even a better results, and hopefully we will make not less than 1,000 of pips to our clients. So of course, if you wish to join Xtreme Trader Forex Signals group, please contact our support. You can find their contact details in the description below this video. Contact them today and hopefully we will see you there. Alright, so let's now take a look at the market and let's see what our options for the upcoming week. But however, we have to mention something. Actually, the signals which I have sent here last Thursday, the late week analysis, I'm very happy to say that actually they have worked very well till Friday afternoon. So let me just tell you, the Euro USD have indeed hit the take profit level, making 86 pips of profit. Pound USD was running actually in about a total of 100 pips of profit. AUD USD has hit the take profit level, making 61 pips of profit. USD Cad has also reversed from the level I have mentioned to start shorting, made 70 pips of profit. USD JPY has reversed as well from the same buy again level and made a total of so far 96 pips of profit. USD CHF was running in total of 80 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the gold sadly did not work at all. Now, of course, what happened yesterday? Actually, everything was going very well. The dollar was getting weaker till Friday afternoon. And Mr. Jerome Powell, he has made a speech about the monetary policy and price stability, which actually was good news for the USD dollar currency. That's why the DXY has gained some strength. And hence, we can see the other pairs against the dollar has now started to fall. So the dollar has gained some trust from the investors, which means we have to consider this week shorting the market because the dollar is getting stronger. Which means for the Euro USD right now, let me now begin analyzing the market, and let's begin with the Euro USD. Now, considering that the dollar is getting stronger right now, let me now go to the daily chart, actually no, even to the weekly chart. Now, you know what, even to the monthly chart. I want to show you this because I said before, actually, in the last, I think in the last Thursday analysis video, or if not, maybe the midweek analysis video, I actually have mentioned that the Euro USD is eventually on the monthly chart going to continue the fall till it reaches the strong support level right here at 0.96948, which means the Euro USD still has more than 260 pips more to go. At that level, I believe we can start buying the pair, but till then we will continue to short the market. As we can see right here, my friends, on the monthly chart, sorry, the Euro USD has indeed managed to make a strong historical bearish breakout from that long-term support which has been lasting since 2002. Pay attention, we are having here a tail, which means that was a support. This was also right here, that was the retest of that support. So after my math is totally effed up. I think about 14 years. After 14 years, the market has again retested the same level of a support and bounced back from it. Then again 2021, the market, actually not 2022, the market has reversed from that level of a support and then finally has made the historical bearish breakout from that level of a support, which means the Euro USD is definitely going to be bearish for the remaining days of remaining weeks of this year. So now going to the weekly chart, finally, we can notice that the market has indeed made right here also another historical breakout from that level at 1.00728. This price action indicates that the Euro USD is definitely going to be bearish. So now going to the daily chart, now we can see that the market has indeed made an attempt here to break out from that level of a previous support, and instantly the market has fallen right here. So the sellers actually are pushing the market, and the 4 weeks right here that we're having, that price action indicates attempt from the buyers to take the market up, but eventually by the closing price on Friday, they actually have failed, and the market has eventually closed as a pin bar, as you can see. Now that means most likely, my friends, that the Euro USD is definitely going to continue the fall almost immediately. Now we can just hope for another pullback, because right here we're having a support zone at 0.99650. However, if we consider the support trend lines, resistance trend lines, if I draw here a resistance trend line just like that, all I need to do is basically just drag it all the way to this resistance trend line, exactly like that. So as you can see, my friends, we had here a resistance trend line, and again another resistance trend line. I want to go to the 1 hour to show you this. Let's go to the 1 hour. Now, as you can see, pay attention. Resistance trend line, resistance trend line, resistance trend line, resistance trend line, and this wick right here represents another resistance trend line. And eventually we had a false breakout, which means most likely the Euro USD, upon the pressure from that support at 0.99650, might actually bounces back again, hit the same level of the resistance trend line, and we are having here also a real level of a resistance exactly right here. That was right here the real level of the resistance, which means, my friends, that's gonna be the level where we are hoping for the market to continue rising to, and we can start shorting the Euro USD after it rises for about 28 or 27 pips. That's gonna be our level to start shorting the pair. However, the target this time is gonna be the lowest level of the support at 0.99019. Eventually we are aiming about 92 pips profit from this signal, and the safe zone shouldn't actually be higher than the peak of that level of a real resistance as well at 1.00346. But keep in mind, if we have noticed here a bullish breakout level from that level of a resistance trend line, then we are just hoping for it to be a false breakout. Otherwise, the market is indeed going to continue the rise till it reaches that level of a previous support before it can continue falling. But assuming, or actually considering that the dollar is getting stronger, I doubt that this is going to happen, and the market most likely is going to continue the rise, because we're having here a real level of a resistance, and we had here finally a false breakout. So the normal behavior of the market usually to continue the rise again, and that level of a real resistance most likely going to be revisited again, and the market will continue the fall right from that level. That's how I'm expecting from the market to move and behave for the upcoming week. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the Euro USD. The safe zone is going to be ranging for about 30 or actually 40 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit level is 92 pips. Let's now move to the Pound USD. Alright, so of course for the Pound USD, we cannot of course buy the pair anymore after what happened, and I have already explained that the dollar is getting stronger. Now, all we need to do for the Pound USD is simply marking these strong support and resistance levels. I need to go to the daily chart. Now the daily chart shows right here, my friends, that we had here a real level of a support exactly right here. That was the real level of the support, as you can see, and the market has indeed reversed right on that level. Keep in mind I'm on the daily chart, so meaning for the whole week we have here five candles. So for the whole week, the Pound USD have actually been trying to break out from that level, and sadly it has failed, which means the market definitely gonna continue the fall. Now going to the 4-hour time frame, All we need to do right now is simply considering the support and resistance levels. Now, what I believe is the market most likely gonna continue the rise till it reaches that level of a previous support. Why? Because this is actually the bearish breakout from that level of a support, and as I'm saying always in my strategy, we always have to start selling the market once it reaches the same level of the lowest tail, or the lowest level of the tail, which is the nearest one to the bearish breakout candle, which means we have to wait for the pound USD to rise for about 35 pips before we can start shorting it. Also, not to mention that in the bigger picture, we are having here a support trend line which has been broken out from, which means again, upon the pressure from that support at 1.17390, we can actually expect from the pound USD to make one reversal or one pullback, and based on that previous support level and that broken support trend line, it actually might continue the fall. So now let me just zoom out to show you the bigger picture. Let me see where I can draw for you the support and resistance. Okay, as you can see right here on the weekly chart, we are having here the lowest level of the support, the closing price of the candles of the weekly chart at 1.16524, which means we can actually expect to make approximately 116 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone actually shouldn't be ranging higher than that level of a real resistance at 1.18324. Another way to confirm this trade or this signal is simply by draw here a resistance trend line. Actually, I have a video on my channel called The Magic of Trend Lines, and based on that video, you can actually feel free to draw the resistance trend line from any high to any high. Any high to any high, you just pick it randomly from this high to this lower high, and you're done. Now pay attention, you can use the same resistance trend line everywhere to find a good entry, and you can actually apply it everywhere or anywhere to confirm that this level or the market has reversed on that level. For example, I have drawn it here from that resistance trend line to that, from this higher high to this lower high, right? I will just simply drag it all the way to that level of a support, from this low to this higher lower low. As you can see, the market has indeed respected that level as a resistance, as a support trend line. Pay attention, even right here, look at that. The market has actually created right here a resistance trend line, and guess what? The market has still been respecting that level as a resistance trend line. Even right there, look at that. That's a perfection. The market is still respecting that level no matter what you do. No matter what you do. Check this out. That is the resistance trend line has been respected and again respected. And even if I extended the line, we can see that it has also been respected right there. So, oh my goodness. So, long story short, all I'm going to do is simply draw the same level of a resistance trend line based on that support trend line. Check this out. So I have placed the line right here on that supported trend line, and we can see that the market has instantly made the bearish breakout from it, which means that support trend line is most likely going to become a new resistance trend line. That's why I believe 1.17753 is going to be a very good entry for shorting the pound USD. So of course I had now to move to the weekly chart to write the numbers for you. So let me now do it. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the pound USD. As you can see, the safe zone is going to be ranging for about 51 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit level is going to be about 116 pips. Let's now move to the AUD USD. Alright, so of course we need to delete now the old signal for the AUD USD. And let's now see what we can do with this pair. Actually, if we go down to the weekly chart, the weekly chart shows us here something very interesting. Pay attention. I have here the resistance trend line, as I have just told you about. And what I can do right here is simply like that. Look at that. The market has indeed, let me just make it exactly. So now we can see that we had here a resistance trend line, and keep in mind I'm on the weekly chart. So that resistance trend line was also was actually a resistance trend line. Then we had here a false breakout from that level of a resistance trend line, and again more false breakout, and again the same level of a resistance trend line has been respected. Also, we're having here a horizontal level of a resistance which has also been respected. Pay attention, it was also a very strong key support level in the past. Then we had here a false breakout. Then that was the real breakout from that level of a support, and we can see that the resistance here has been respected as 0.69774. Now, being said on the weekly chart, let's move to the 4-hour time frame, not even the daily. I don't even need the daily at the moment. Now, all I need to do is simply move the same resistance trend line I have used earlier and just simply place it right here at that level of a resistance trend line. And look at that, the market has indeed created a resistance trend line and it has been respected repeatedly. Now, let's find the real level of a resistance on horizontal level. Now, we're having here simply like that. Let me just draw the line here to show it to you. Exactly. Now, let's see this. So we had here a real level of a resistance, false breakout, and guess what? The real level of the resistance has also been respected again. So meaning that level has been retested right here. Now, our hope is for another pullback upon the pressure from that support right here at 0.68927. Then we can start shorting the AUD/USD again once it reaches the same level of the real resistance, and then we can start shorting the market. Of course, not to mention that this was actually Fibonacci retracement number 50, which means it's gonna be definitely a good entry. And if we track the history, we can notice here, my friends, it was also a real level of a resistance, as well, and a false breakout. That being said, we need to consider that we had here also a support trend line, just like that. So meaning if the market is going to be able to reverse upon the pressure from that real level of a resistance, then the market is definitely going to continue the fall till it reaches the same level of the support, the lowest level of the support as 0.67295. Of course, that's going to be on the long run. We are talking about more than 220 pips. However, for this week, our take profit level is going to be placed just right here at the lowest level of the support as 0.68556, which means we are aiming simply 72 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, this safe zone shouldn't be actually ranging higher than that real level of a resistance as well as 0.69627, which means it's going to be ranging for about 35 pips. Let me please just increase it a little bit more. For simple reason, because there is indeed a high chance that the market might actually reverse on that level of a resistance. And sadly, we have here so many clients, or actually followers on YouTube, they assume that the edge of the safe zone is a stop loss. Even no matter how many times I said and clarified, it is not a stop loss. Sadly, they still think it's a stop loss. And guys, really, if it's a stop loss, I will just write it for you. Safe zone, meaning it's a safe zone, meaning the market actually might be ranging inside of the safe zone and it might actually reverse. That's why I had to extend the safe zone, because the market actually might reverse exactly from that level and then it can continue the fall. So that being said, let me just make sure that this is your signal, and let me now please write it for you. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the AUD/USD. Let's now move to the USD Cad. Alright, so of course we need to get rid of the old signal, but before I continue, I want to remind everyone to please hit the like button. I would like to thank everyone who had hit the like button on the midweek analysis video. It was actually a high number of clicks and high number of likes, and I really wish to see the same for this weekly analysis video. I actually forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video. I just remembered it now. So again, guys, please, I'm asking you kindly, if you are liking this video, if you are making profits with these analysis and these forecasts, then please just hit the like button. That's all I'm asking you. I'm not asking you for anything else. It's not gonna cost you anything at all. Just move your mouse cursor, hit the like button, and that's how you return the favor to me. Anyway, let me now just tell you what we can do next with the USD Cad. If we look at the weekly, on the daily chart right now, what we can notice here is something very interesting. Now, the market is indeed rising for the USD Cad. The market is actually moving on upper trend, and as we can see, this support trend line here, which I have drawn here, it actually being respected right here. Now let's track this support trend line. So we had here a resistance trend line, and then a false breakout, not only once but twice, and then the same level of a resistance trend line has become a support trend line. Now look at that. The market actually has been ranging on that level of a support trend line. There was several false breakouts from that level of a support trend line, but eventually the market has indeed managed to close above that level of a support trend line, which means most likely the USD CAD is indeed going to continue the rise. Considering that the dollar is actually getting stronger right now, we can simply assume that the market is going to continue the rise. And if I move to the weekly chart, however, we can say that the USD CAD is definitely going toward that level of a resistance at 1.3223. Now, remarkably, that was, my friends, a real level of a resistance. Check this out. On the weekly chart, we have here a real level of a resistance. Then it was a support, and again a resistance level, and again it was a real level of a resistance, then false breakouts, and now the same level of a real resistance has already become again another real level of a resistance. Now, most likely, and based on the weekly chart, let me just now again draw this support trend line in other way, just like that. And if I simply place the line like this, now we can see that the market is indeed respecting that level as a support trend line, which means the USD CAD is surely going to continue the rise. Now the question is where exactly we can start buying the pair. Now it's actually a matter of support and resistance purely, because we're having here a real level of a support exactly right here. That was the real level of the support at 1.29727, and if we track the history, we can see it was very strong level as a support right here, and as a resistance right here, and right here, and of course right there. So my strategy says that this support level is usually going to be respected again right after that bullish breakout candle. And now the strategy says clearly, once you see a bullish breakout candle, then start buying the market at the nearest support level to that bullish breakout candle, and the nearest strong key support level is simply right here. Now, if we want to be more specific about it, we can actually draw here a support trend line just like that, and guess what? Exactly. We're having here also another support trend line, and it was also a resistance trend line, but for very short time. And then eventually we can expect from the USD CAD to fall all the way right here, that level of a support on horizontal level, plus the support trend line is gonna be respected again, which means we have to wait for the pair to fall for another 58 pips before we can start buying it. I know it's gonna take a while, very long while, before the market being able to reach that level, but that is the signal. I cannot do anything other than that. Anyway, if that happens, we are actually aiming about 141 pips of profits, because we had here the false breakout, and right here the real level of the resistance, and the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging lower than that real level of a support as well, and right here as well at 1.29275, which means the safe zone is ranging for about, let me just make it a little bit more. Yeah, that's fine. Let's make it fair for me. 53 pips against 141 pips of profit. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USD CAD. Let's now move to the USD JPY. Guys, hit the like button. Come on, don't forget. I want to see a lot of likes in this video. I want to reach not less than 300 likes. I really hope we can do it. Actually, I should be aiming 10,000 likes, but what can I do? I don't even have 3,000 views on this video. God only knows why. Anyway, let's now go to the USD JPY, and let's now see on the weekly chart what we can do actually with this pair. Now on the weekly chart, the USD JPY is definitely gonna be bullish. The target, my friends, has to be right here, the highest level of the resistance at 138.940, which means the USD JPY still has still has 152 pips more to go, which means now on the 4-hour time frame, all we need to do is consider where exactly we can start buying the asset, and where exactly our take profit level is gonna be. So without a doubt, the take profit level has to be right here, the highest level of the resistance at 138.890. Meanwhile, Now we need to consider the strongest support levels on this structure. Pay attention. This was real level of a support, false breakout, real level of a support, real level of a support. Now, most likely the USDJPY is going to continue the fall for about 46 pips before we can start shorting it. The market is actually facing a pressure from that resistance at 137.515. And I believe by the opening price on Monday, the market is definitely going to continue the fall till it reaches that level of a real support. And by the way, pay attention, we had here, my friends, a resistance. I'm just trying to make the line accurate, exactly just like that. So we had here a resistance, and notice that this wick right here is the nearest one to that bullish breakout candle. So therefore, I believe that the USDJPY actually might start the reversal exactly from that level, and it was also a very strong support level right here. That's simply my strategy like that. And that being said, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging lower than the real level of a support right here at 136.377, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 65 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit level is going to be about 184 pips. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USDJPY. Let's now move to the USD CHF. Alright, so of course we need to get rid of this sell signal. It's no longer valid after the speech of Mr. Jerome Powell, and right now the USD CHF is most likely going to continue to be bullish. However, let me just tell you something very interesting now about the USD CHF. Currently the pair is actually in the middle between a real level of a resistance and a real level of a support. Now the pair is actually ranging inside this level, and pay attention how the market actually has been moving inside this structure. The market has actually been moving in a consolidation mode for a long time, and even right here we can see that the market has indeed managed to create a long tail at the bottom. Even here we had several tails, and right here we had a pin bar. So meaning the market is indeed facing a lot of pressure from both sides, the real level of a support and the real level of the resistance. But what's going to happen next is really interesting, because most likely the market eventually going to be able to continue the breakout from that level. Because on the bigger picture, if I go to the weekly chart, the bigger picture, my friends, is we're having here a support level, and the USD CHF indeed has managed to break out from that level. Not to mention, of course, that again on the weekly chart we have here a resistance trend line, and the market has indeed managed to break out from that level of a a resistance trend line. So meaning the USD CHF right now is surely going to be bullish for the remaining days of this month. So now considering the direction of the USD CHF, we can see that currently we are actually on the level of a resistance. But I believe that the USD CHF is eventually going to continue to be able to make one visit right here, one more pullback to reach that level of a previous support exactly right here. Let me just be more accurate. I want to be accurate as much as possible. I'm just looking at the past and the history to confirm the strength of that level exactly. Check this out. So actually my eye is looking right here. I'm looking at this support level and this support right here, and I'm just tracking how the market has been reacting to that level every single time. So the market has indeed reversed upon the pressure from that support at 0.96306, and again, yes, definitely the market is gonna continue the rise after falling again for about 26 pips before we can start buying the market. Not to mention, of course, that that support trend line, it seems like it's gonna keep its position again, and we can expect from the market to make one final bounce on that support trend line. So most likely, my friends, that's exactly where we can start buying the pair. And let me just tell you about the take profit level. The take profit level, it has to be placed exactly. Yeah, wow, check this out. This was a real level of a resistance, real level of a resistance, and the false breakout, which means that's going to be our target this time. We are aiming 0.97839, which means we are aiming approximately 155 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging lower than that level of a support at 0.95761, which means the safe zone is going to be ranging for about 51 pips and a take profit level of 155 pips. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USD CHF. Let's now move to the gold. Alright, so of course we cannot buy the gold anymore after what Mr. Jerome Powell said. So let's now see what we can do with this pair, and trust me, it's a very straightforward and simple analysis. Simply go to the daily chart. Number one, pay attention to the details, which means we're having here a real level of a resistance, as we can see here, my friends, and look at that. The market actually has been respecting that level at 1000, oh, actually, let me say it easier way, 1764.64. The market has indeed managed to create here a very strong key support level, and eventually the market has made another false breakout, but we had here another false breakout again, and upon the news or the statement from Mr. Jerome Powell, the market has reversed at that level of a resistance. Now actually the daily chart shows us simply the take profit level, which is going to be right here, because definitely we are going to start shorting the gold this week. So we are sure, or I cannot say sure, we are actually assuming that the gold is going to continue the fall till it reaches at least 1700. That's going to be the target, and I don't think this is good for the gold at all, because it actually was really ranging. We were actually expecting from the gold to break out from 1800, and as we can see right here, sadly the market has reversed exactly from 1800. And it's not clear at all, because we had here actually a very strong level of a support, and everyone was assuming that the gold is most likely gonna respect that level of a support and then continue the rise. However, what happened is the market has reversed only for very few pips, and the pressure on the gold was high because, of course, the dollar now is getting stronger. Anyway, now what we can do with the gold is simply like this. We have to mark right now the real level of the resistance and the supports. Now look at that. We are having here a real level of a resistance. Then on the bigger picture, we had here a false up from the level of a resistance. Now we can safely say that the gold structure is going to continue to rise again from the pressure from that support at 1738, and most likely is going to make another pullback, and that level of a real resistance is most likely going to be respected again. Of course, we have to consider that we are having here a resistance trend line just like that, so we can assume that the market might actually be ranging for a few pips only till it reaches the same level of a resistance trend line, and after that it's gonna continue the fall. Another way to confirm this is by simply draw here a support trend line, and as you can see, exactly just like that. So we can see that the market has indeed managed to break out from that level of a support trend line. And we can say that the market is most likely gonna respect that level as a resistance and reverses right from there. I think it's a very straightforward and simple analysis for the gold. We don't actually need any further analysis. It's really simple and easy and clear for me. So therefore, we are going to start shorting the gold exactly right here. Sell the gold at 1744.34. And of course, the take profit level, I want to actually give you a more realistic take profit level. Let me just make it here at that support level. It's actually going to be easier, since actually giving higher take profit level is going to be tough for me. So 320 pips is our target. Take profit level is going to be at 1712.67. And the safe zone, since we are actually relying on that resistance trend line right here, just like that, so meaning our safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than that level of a resistance exactly right here at 1760. I don't like to give numbers like 1769, 59.59. I mean, come on, man. So yeah, 156 pips is gonna be fair enough number for our safe zone. Meanwhile, the target is gonna be about 315 pips. And that's everything, my friends, for the weekly analysis, and I really hope it's going to be a very profitable week for everyone, and hopefully, guys, you will make good profits with these signals. I want to remind everyone to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have gained lots of profits with our signals, and please don't forget to follow us and wait us for more signals on YouTube and of course on Telegram. So until then, I hope that is informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.